There are no wrong choices. Mm-mm. There are no wrong choices. I know what you're thinking. Well, if I look over my life, Brooke, I got evidence that I've made some wrong choices. Nope. Nope. The moment you made the choice, it was the right one. It was the right one for you at that moment, at that time, based on what you knew, based on what you understood. That was the right choice. You cannot make the wrong choice. You can't get it wrong. What happens when you start thinking like that? What happens when you move yourself out of this potential to be in, like, you think it's possible to be a victim. You think it's possible to be inferior. You think it's possible to be weak, and that's not possible until you say this is what it is. So I'm asking, what happens when you take the mindset that I can't get it wrong? No matter what I do, I can't get it wrong. Every choice is the right one. Whether I chose to go to school or not go to school, to take that job or to quit that job, huh? To start the business or to not start the business, to choose that person or not choose that person, to stay with that person, to not. I am the only one in total control. So if I am in control and I make the choice, see, I can debate about it beforehand. I can have opinions about it beforehand. But the moment that I make the choice, it's the right one. What happens when you take that philosophy? I need you to understand your old mind is going to be the reason why you don't get what you want in life. And it's not the old mind in and of itself, it's your affinity for it. It's your love affair with telling this same pitiful ass story. Because when you believe that you can make the wrong choice, when you believe that's even freaking possible, what you're saying is something else is in control. You're in violation. You're in violation, first of all, of Rook 3 and 1 because you done spoke against yourself. Why would you do that? When you when you tell yourself it's possible to make the wrong decision, you spoke against yourself. You're also in violation of Rook 3 and 2 because now you done acknowledge something that you don't want to be true. Damn. Well, hell, you done covered all three. Rook 3 and 3. Now you had to give power to something outside of you. How can it be the wrong choice? I don't want to hear about that man that you chose. You chose the nigga. Well, he won't like that when I chose him. Okay, fine. You chose the bitch. Well, she won't like that. Okay. You still chose her based on who you were at that time. If I approach life that every move I make is the right one, and that even if some sort of collapse happens as a result of that choice, it's still the right choice. Because obviously, I needed that collapse. Obviously, there's something in that collapse for me. Everything in life got to be for me. The whole world is orchestrating on my behalf. How could I get it wrong? I don't understand what's being said. No, don't clarify for me. Never mind. No. No. I can't get it wrong. When I move through life with complete authority, when I understand I'm in the driver's seat, the fuck? What are you talking about here? How can I get it wrong? I can't. I can't get it wrong. You are keeping yourself in your own prison because you keep telling the same raggedy ass story. I was talking to this young lady, and that's what she was like. Woo! It was like a broken record. And I know she's not aware of it because she just kept going on about, I just got a habit of making bad decisions, bad choices, da 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 da. Then she kept giving me examples of, see, I did that, and then that ended up happening. I did that, da 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 da. No, you didn't make no bad decision. No, you chose. You made the choice that you wanted. See, I'm not letting you out. Like, you're not getting no escape. You chose what you wanted to choose. And then as a result of that, something else unfolded that was not to your liking, and then you gave it a negative meaning. You said, I quit my job to start my business, and then the business didn't pop off like I thought it was, and then I lost all my money. So you decided that that happening was a negative. That's your own fault. That's because you gave it negative meaning. Because what you could have said was, well, what I learned was that's not really what I wanted to do. What I learned was there's a better way to go about this. What I learned was What happens when you view life through the lens that everything is in your favor? There ain't no wrong. I don't slip up. Who do you think is in the driver's seat? You speak against yourself. That's an assumption. To assume that I could get it wrong. I'm saying, what happens when you remove that possibility, nigga? I can't get it wrong. So, Ro, you trying to tell me that people ain't out here making bad decisions? They're making decisions. They get to decide how they define those decisions. Well, you know what I'm saying? So and so left their relationship, and then they thought it was gonna find something better, and then they didn't, and now they're unhappy. XYZ. You're saying that's not the wrong decision. Did they make the choice? Then it was the right decision. You don't get no get back. See what you do when you think from this type of mind, you're saying, I am inferior. I have the potential to be a victim. That's what you're saying. You're saying that if I'm not careful, I can lead myself in the wrong direction. And what I'm saying to you is, you must take that thinking and set it on fire. Because you open the door for guilt, you open the door for shame, you open the door for regret. You made the decision. That whole idea, like you trying to bring up something that somebody's done in the past, that shit only works for people who give a fuck. I know what you're thinking, real well. That's the problem. Doing about to give up. No, no, no. That's not the problem. The thing about it is, you can't hold over my head what I did 20 years ago. Hell, you can't hold over my head a choice I made yesterday. I made the choice because based on my understanding at the time, based on what made sense to me at the time, yeah, I made the choice. That don't make sense for me no more. I changed my mind. You get the right to change your mind. But approaching life through the lens that you could ever get it wrong is a recipe for failure. You got to I mean, this. I'm talking about taking the mind as you know it and setting that hole on fire. I can't get it wrong. I am that I am. I am that I am. How could I get it wrong? Imagine, imagine reading like a creation story, and it says, "In the beginning, God created heaven and earth, and then He doubted whether or not it was good." Imagine that. So are you God or aren't you? I need, come on, help me out here. Somebody, which one is it? You don't take complete authority over your life. I don't give a damn. I'm going to make the choice. I'm going to make the choice that seems right to me, that makes sense to me. I'm going to trust me. I'm going to trust my inner guidance, and I'm going to make a move. And I'll deal with whatever comes with that. But I never get it wrong. I ain't never telling myself I get it wrong. See, it makes sense. This is what I say you guys are calling being realistic. It makes sense to bet against yourself. It makes sense to doubt yourself. It makes sense to second guess yourself. But somehow it don't never make sense for you to take complete authority of your life and say, I am that I am. I am the power. I'm the only one in control. I'm the only one who decides. As I think, so I am. I gets what I want. Life always shows up for me. Huh? The world is obsessed with proving me right. You don't be moving like that. You don't be moving like that. No, you sitting over. I know people who are still regretting repeating the old story of a decision they made freaking 12 years ago. That's insane to me. No, I made a decision, damn it, because I wanted to make a decision. And it was the right one for me. No matter what happens to me, everything works in my favor. It may look like a failure to you. Yeah, look at you. I told you, don't quit your job before and start your little business until you had X amount of money saved up. Now look at you. Now you struggling. So nigga, you struggling and you ain't take no risk. So fuck it, yeah. At least I did it my way. Ain't no L when you do it your way. You can tell me. No, I ain't gotta follow the safe path. It ain't stay safe, it stay dangerous. Look up what dangerous mean. Look it up, look it up. Huh? Power. Danger means power. So yeah, I ain't staying safe. I'm staying dangerous. So what? You went all in on a relate. I really thought this was the one. I thought this was the one. I went all in. I had the best time. It was the most whatever, and it fell apart. Then you got people in your ear. I told you should have trusted that hoe. You know what I'm saying? I told you, man, they all like this. Or your girls in your ear. I told you niggas ain't shit. Them niggas is at home jacking off the Instagram pictures. Why you care what they think? Them heifers at home pulling out the rose. Why do you care what they think? That's what this whole idea that you could get it wrong from, because you thinking that there is some backlash. You hear the opinions of others. Move through life like you own this bitch. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. I'll take the risk. So it only went well for 3 months. Well, it was a hell of a ride. My God, it was the best of my life. Delicious. Thank you for such a good time. I'll remember it always. What? So what? I lost the okay. I blew some money. Then cashed out all my damn investments. Fuck it. Well, they say if you don't get in now, this is the early run. So if you don't get in now, you'll be the Bitcoin gonna be up to 500,000. It's gonna be up to 1 million. You're gonna be left behind. That's because you think against yourself. You believe shit like that because you think against yourself. You believe stuff like that because you acknowledge what you don't want to be true. You believe stuff like that because you would give power to something outside of you. I ain't never left behind. I can't be left behind. I don't give a damn when I come in the game. I'm always winning. There's only one way it can go. It's win or win. You ain't moving through life like that, friend. You ain't moving through life like that. You got the ear of the world. That's what you listening to. You don't get quiet enough. You don't yank yourself out of that nonsense. This is what we do when we pull away from the table. When I say pull away from the world, what does the world represent? Everything of the flesh. What really is the ego anyway? It ain't nothing but the conscious mind. That's it. It's when you look through life through a limited view. It's the false self. It serves its role. We ain't mad at it. We need it. It's cool. But we know how to put it in its proper place. Can't get it wrong. I don't make no bad decisions. Yeah, I thought that was the move to make, and I bet all my money on that. And it went belly up. So, 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 tell me I made a mistake. I made it. No, nigga. I can't get it wrong. Every move is the right. What the fuck we talking about money? You blow some money, you get some more. Huh? Huh? Well, they broke my heart. Your heart can't break. That should be very good, wonderful news for you. The heart can't break, baby. Your feelings can get hurt. Heart can't break. The heart is fine. The heart is fine. The pain comes from the mind. That's what trip you up. That's what get you stuck in coming up with all these little pissy scenarios you don't want. The mind comes up with that. The mind comes up with that. The heart is just fine. Now you may create a wall around that heart, and that shell around it can break. Absolutely. But don't worry, the heart can't break. She good. She is perfectly fine. And if she could, you probably would leave the body. At the moment you break that heart, you out of here. Hmm? You can't get it wrong. What happens when you frame life through that lens? That I'm always good, that is always right no matter what happens. If I make a decision and people get hurt, right? I make a decision and you hurt your daddy feelings as a result of that. You hurt your grandma feelings, right? Your family looking at you crazy. But it's the decision that's right for you, the decision that you stand on. How can it be wrong? Unless you care more about how they feel versus, you see what I'm saying? You still got to give power to their opinion. That's what you giving power to. You care more. And it'd be so crazy. Some of us, I know several people who are stuck. They've made themselves stuck. Let's make no mistake about that, right? But because they care about the opinions of their parents. Like, bro, you 40 years old, bro. You can't make a move. Like, at what point do you, your mama was out here slinging ass, okay? Freaking 40 years ago. She was doing everything she wanted to do. Now all of a sudden she got all the advice. No disrespect to mama. We love you, mama. We do. And we know that when you learn better, you do better, supposedly. And then you want to teach better. I got it. But you had your time to live life the way you wanted to. You don't get to live mine now. Sorry. Sorry. And to stay locked in. When I could give y'all examples, bro. When I tell you people going through it, my God. Woo! They going through it and they putting up a, I mean, the outside is picture perfect. They got all the little pictures on Facebook, all the little pictures on Instagram, and woo, woo, behind the scenes, mm, soul crushing. And then they wonder why your blood pressure. You wonder why your blood pressure is up. You wonder why you can't sleep at night. You wonder why you got erectile dysfunction. Ain't nothing wrong with your dick. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Ain't nothing. You just in the wrong place. Same for the ladies. I've known ladies who were told that they were the reason that they couldn't have children. They were married in a long-term relationship, kept having kids. They said it was her. She was the reason. End up splitting from that partner, and in less than 2 years, no, less than a year, might have been 2 years. Boom, pregnant. Nah, ain't nothing wrong with your body. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Nah, you done created some blockages there that you gotta uncreate. You know what, like, be tripping me out so much? It's like life. God, like life has been there just waiting for you to say yes. All that you could ever imagine and more. All of the tussling that we think that we're doing with life is just with yourself. You're arguing with yourself. You're debating with yourself about what's right and what's wrong, and do I do this? And you second guess yourself. Is the right choice? And so I think you think it makes you better than the people who don't think at all. So it's like, well, at least I'm not totally asleep. Those people don't think at all. But then you have entered the world of obsessive thinking. Is that better? Because you're just as paralyzed as the people who don't think. If you would just say, this is my world now. It's mine. I'm going to step into it. And I'll deal with whatever comes with that. If you're really about that life. Because I learned that it's a talking point. This whole idea of freedom is a cute little talking point. It feels good to tell yourself, this is why so many of you are rebellious. You got a rebellious spirit, and I know it. Trust me. Ask me how I know. You want to buck at everything. Any sign of order, you want to buck against it. Like when we say, don't go to the restaurant popping pee over somebody else's French toast during brunch. That's not the time for that. What I'm saying, that's the patriarchy. That's the white man system, the European. Nah, we're just saying that there's a time and a place for all things, right? Stop carrying your ass to the airport with fucking pajamas on. Nah, those standards, we gotta abide by. No, we're saying it's a time and place. Take some sort. It ain't even about other people. Like, have pride in your presentation. Give a fuck about something. Not everything, but something. Okay? You got a duty. Like, we all got a duty to, like, why is this a why you want to uglify everything? That's that rebellious spirit. The more you tell me that I should do it this way, I'm gonna go against it just cause. And the reason you do this is, I need to feel in control in some way in my life. And because I ain't figured out how to do it within myself, I got to use these things. So I'm going to go and get 5,000 tattoos. I'm going to get everything I can think of pierced. This is when the fellas like women who are not established in themselves because they can have their way with them. I'm gonna be the man, and I'm gonna make these hoes do whatever, and I'm gonna tell her what she can and can't do. And only man I've ever seen that wants to control a woman is a man who ain't in control of his life. Damn. Ain't that a bitch? Damn. You got no rebellious spirit when you in control. You ever tussle with a kid? You ever seen kids interact with different people? And with some, they drive the adults crazy. It's like the adult is like tussling with an 8-year old. And you looking like, bruh, aren't you the adult? Right? And then in some instances, you see that same kid now, the same kid that you've been warned they this and they do this and they don't listen. And then in the presence of another adult, whole different kid. How is that possible? Like we there is no power struggle. There is no power struggle in that dynamic. When you solid in who you are, like when I know that I'm in control, I don't have to tussle with you. When I know that I'm in control, let's frame it another way. Same scenario, talking about the kids. Not even talking about the kids. Think about you as a kid. When did you show your ass the most? When you didn't feel seen and when you didn't feel heard. That's when you were the most rebellious. You were fighting for control. You were fighting for power and position. And I'm saying that at a certain point you became an adult and you was like, I ain't even gotta do all that shit. When you know, when you standing in power, when you are in complete control of yourself and your life, you ain't got no desire. You understand? Like I can I don't have a you get what I'm saying here? I ain't got to tussle with nothing because I am that I am. Right? I can tell you that I ain't doing that. Well, Rook, I don't like women who do XYZ. I don't give a fuck what you like. Now what? Now where do we go from here? Now what? Huh? Well, I ain't gonna tolerate it. And I just choose somebody else. Do it. See, don't talk me to death. If you think you can live without me, there's only one thing to do. Do it. Do it, baby. Do it. And I'm saying to you, when you take this position with life, when you move from absolute authority, I know who I am. There ain't nothing you gonna say that's gonna knock me off my game. No, I don't get it wrong. No, there ain't no mishaps. No matter, even if I do make a decision and decide, damn, I think the best move is to pivot right instead of left. I make a note. I'm now better. I got better insight. I have better clarity now. Bam. I got that in the bag. That's in my toolkit now. You see what I'm saying? The energy behind the movement is different. The energy behind you seeing life is different. You're seeing it from the lens, through the lens that I'm always in control and I'm never a victim. I can't get it wrong. Huh? That's good. God, that should free you. I want you to free yourself from the self-imposed chains that you put on you. If you made a decision and you're not happy with it, so what? Deal with it. Did it hurt your feelings? Deal with it. Is it painful? Feel it. Hmm? Make you feel whatever? Cool. And then we move. That's it. It is what it is. I chose that. I chose that. No matter how many I got great examples of how people can really be very shitty people. You're not gonna hear me crying about that unless I'm trying to use it to make a point. You're gonna hear me crying about that. Why? Because I chose them. If I stayed too long, I stayed too long. I chose to stay too long. If I didn't feel seen and loved and respected, because I chose that. Ain't nobody keep me there but me. So who am I blaming exactly? Huh? Exactly. You ain't no victim. I ain't never gonna let you be a victim over here. Stand in your sovereignty. Either you are God or you're not. Well, Rook, I'm not really comfortable saying that. Well, then this conversation ain't for you. But if you hung around this long, I'd argue something within you was saying otherwise. Stand in your power. Like if you would check yourself every time your mind starts to deviate to some sort of pity. No, it's either power or pity. Which one? I got to choose. That's the choice that I'm making. Which one am I standing on? So no, I can't make the wrong choice. I always make the right moves. I always know what to do, when to do it. Huh? I'm ever guided. How in the world can me and the Most High be one and I can make the wrong choice? Well, that can happen, Rook, because the Most High can be guiding you one way and you can choose another. That was still my choice. That was still my choice. I can absolutely go against. I can. I can. Heart can be saying yes. Head can be saying no. I can follow the head. I absolutely can do that. But was it the wrong choice? No. No. Because I'm going to tell you this. Woo! You know what's so good? When you make that choice, when you choose head over heart, trust me, you're going to learn some shit from doing that. Oh, baby, are you? Oh, baby, you're going to learn some good things about yourself. You're going to get some wonderful insight. And life gonna give your ass a thrashing like you ain't never seen. And even from that, you're gonna learn something. So it can't be wrong, can it? Exactly.